started when my dad asked me to create our family tree.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started creating it, I realized that it dawned on me that he was the last living child from his mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather had multiple wives, which
Sure.
is what I found out when I was working on this family tree. Like I
Mm-hmm.
knew it, but then I didn't quite know their names or
Right.
anything.
Right.
So after speaking with him, he was telling me all these things, and then um, he had like a health episode, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, if God forbid we lose him,
Mm-hmm.
we would lose all his stories,
Right.
all his memories,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so much of it because he's now 76.
Okay.
So I now started trying to figure out where to actually place this family tree.
Mm-hmm.
I looked and I didn't quite find one that would capture the intricacies of our family
Sure.
tree. And I ended up working on my own process map.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I now approached you about it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you think we can do? Because if I have this problem,
Mm-hmm.
other people have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we solve for it?
And I
And
remember the
then,
doodles that you showed me. You
yep,
showed me the sketches and the
I know.
Visio and all that other stuff.
Yep.
And I feel like for me, it was really a full circle moment because I had, also been thinking about the same problem around the same time as well too.
Mhm.
So that December, I was in New York with my family, going through, my parents' photo albums. These are photo albums that they had before I was born,
Right.
individually before they even met, right? And
Okay.
I saw pictures that were looking to were starting to fade, right? These are like things that have been compressed in a box for
Yep.
God knows
Decades
how long,
and traveled.
traveled, you're right? Humidity, all that stuff, right? And I had to keep asking them, like, who's this, who's that, who's that, right? And for them, like, it made sense because they actually lived those experiences. They were there, so they knew, right?
Yep.
But kind of thinking about like making sure that like the meaning of those photos of significance is passed on to future generations,
Mhm.
you kind of need that context. So I had also been, as I said, kind of just like doodling and drawing my own family's family tree, right? Just because like growing up, I've kind of been the inquisitive child, the one who's, closer to grandparents, asking questions, who
Mhm.
was this, who was that
Like the
type of thing.
family historian kind
Exactly,
of.
family
Yeah.
historian. And I had all these things like in my head, but we didn't have like an actual, not just like a written down version, but something well documented somewhere that like if a relative in Finland just popped up out of nowhere, I could send
Mhm.
them this and catch them up. We didn't have something like that.
Exactly. Yep.
So kind of just like meeting you and then like seeing that you were actually thinking about the same thing was just like wow. you know
Meant to be.
yeah.